All right, guys, I'm very, very proud you to present to you one of the original Livin Proof member on your 90s R&B broadcast. We'll be interviewing former artists from the 90s, from indie to well-known artists to legendary, perhaps one day, we do never know. Today, I have the pleasure and honor to present to you Rogan Richeart, former member and original member from the Livin Proof boys band group. Allow me to wish you a very warm welcome to the show. Thank you for having you on the show. Thank you, Rogan.
All right, all right. Thank you for reaching out to me, and let's get this interview started, sir.
Yeah, yeah. You two, we both go what we. Oh, my
No
bad.
worries.
Uh, we go way back. We go way back, so we've been known each other for years now,
Yep.
exchanging through social media. Uh, you got me interview a few time ago, and I wanted now having you on this interview to well, I think it's never been done before. I think it's never you never spoke before, right? Am I right so
No,
far?
no,
Okay.
never. Yeah.
You never gave your interview to the world, so I thought
Uh,
it would be a great idea if you could speak to the world regarding the living proof past experience through the music
okay.
industry.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So first question,
Okay.
uh, I wanted to know where you guys came from originally back in the 90s. So let's take it back to the 90s.
Okay. We formed in Miami. We all met in Miami. Frankie and Steve, they went to the same high school. And then I met them through some mutual friends when we were going out to a club. And we all noticed we can dance. And I was like, hey, you guys could dance. And they said we could dance. And then they asked me to join their group. The group at the time was called Lavender. And
Lavender. Okay,
I
okay.
told them, yeah, we can join. I can join, but we're gonna have to change that name.
Okay, okay. And it was back in around
uh,
which years?
we met in 1989.
89. Oh, whoa.
89. Yeah,
Good. That's
yeah.
good.
So Frankie and Steve, they knew each other for a few years in high school, and then I
Okay.
met them in 1989.
Okay, so you guys were like, how old were
Six.
you?
Okay. How was I? 19? I was 19, and
Oh,
Frankie and
okay.
Steve. Frank was like 2 years older than Steve, and 3 years older than Frankie. Yep. So yeah.
What
So
was that group they had? Say a singing group, a dancing
it,
group, or
it
both?
was a singing group. Yep. It was a
Singing
singing
group.
group. Hmm.
You already told me that the original Living Proof, the first form of the group, had
Uh-huh.
four member. Is that right?
Yeah, we eventually got a fourth member after we met our manager Max Goose.
The I think it's later on, way before 89,
Well,
right?
no, we met Lee in 1990 or 1991.
Okay,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So he would have stayed in our group, but when we went to get the record deal, we had and we chose the most money up
So, sorry,
from the
can you repeat
oh
because the
okay.
sound cut off? So
Oh,
I
cut
need
off?
you to,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I need
Okay.
you to rewind on the when you met. Okay,
Okay. So we met Lee
okay, okay.
like a year or two after we got together.
Yeah, yeah.
We got our manager Max Goose, and after we got with Max Goose knew Lee, right? He knew Lee. Lee was good.
First of all, how did you
Okay.
met Max Goose?
Okay, Frankie met Max Goose. The lead singer met Max Goose through some other friends of ours, and we found out he was looking for artists. He was looking
Okay,
for
okay.
artists that he can try to help get a record deal.
Back in 90, in
Say that
90,
again.
back in
And
90.
yeah, back in 1990 or 1991. That's
Okay,
a
okay.
long time for me, so the years might be a little off.
No,
But
no,
yeah,
no, no. I'm just
yeah.
asking for
Okay,
some details.
yeah,
I'm precise
yeah.
like that. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, 1990, 1991, we met Max Goose, and then he brought us Lee. and we
Mm.
all got along real well. Lee made some good music. He was a good producer. He could rap too, and he can dance. So we all got together and we started putting the demo together for the group.
So the Lee was a rapper, a dancer, a producer. Was he
And
a
a singer.
singer? A
He was a
singer as
singer.
well. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
So
Yep.
he was around. He was headed by Mac Goose. Okay, let's move on with that. And then what happened?
After we got together, we came, we did some shows, and then we got approached by four record labels, and then we East West was one of them. You probably
Oh,
heard of them.
yeah,
You,
yeah,
you ever heard
yeah,
of
yeah,
Adina
yeah, yeah.
Howard? Adina Howard?
I didn't well, of
Yeah,
course, yeah.
yeah. So Max
Classic.
Goose, Max Goose put it on East West.
Oh,
Who else was Giant Records? Was another one, Capital, and then
MCA. Okay,
Red Ant, Red Ant slash MCA.
which is now Red Hand.
Yeah. Well,
Back
no,
in the day, it was
it was
MCA Gasoline
no.
LA.
Let me tell you, it was. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, now it's Red Ant. Oh, you know your math. I mean, you know your history. Yes.
I've done my own work, you know.
Yes, it's Red Ant now. So back then it was Gasoline Alley
Yeah, yeah,
slash MCA. Rod
yeah.
Stewart
Right,
owned the label. He
right.
owned Gasoline Alley. So yeah, we and then we went with that label because they gave us the most they gave us the most advanced money. So as kids, we were young. Whoever give us the most money up front, that's the one we went with.
Yeah. So you've seen more money in this way, and you took
Uh-huh.
that way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple as
Exactly.
that. Simple as that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then between 91 and 94, when you guys signed the first record deal with the MCA Gasoline LA,
Uh-huh. We
what
signed it in
round
1992 is when we
1992?
signed. Yeah,
Okay.
1992. We did a whole album, and then after we finished the album, they wanted us to do another album, and we were like, oh, okay, all right. So we did
So,
another
so, so
album.
hold on.
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
to put you on pause right here.
yeah.
So,
Okay.
so you're telling me, let's take that to the world, to the fans, that you guys had a very first one album before the Proof is in the Puddin' Unreleased album.
Yeah, we did. We
Okay,
did.
nobody knew that before.
Your microphone went out. Let me. Can you say that again?
I think that nobody knew that before, that you guys
Hmm.
had another Unreleased album before the first, but
We yeah,
the
yeah
well known.
we had one album, and then we had put a whole album together, and then they wanted us to go record some more because they felt like we needed to do some more with, because Jodeci was coming out, Boys and Men was coming out, and they wanted us to sound more like them at the time because we were more sounding like Bobby Brown, because
Okay, okay.
that's our inspiration. As a matter of fact, let me go back a little bit. Before we met Lee, when when we were just going around doing talent shows at what's called gong shows. And if you win, they'll give you money that night. So that's how we got our money so we can go to the clubs. So that's what we were
Okay,
doing.
okay. That was
So
the hustle. That was the
that was the
hustle.
hustle. Yeah, yeah. We put a dance routine together. We brown songs all over. Get our money, then go to the clubs and go dancing.
Okay. That was the good old days. That was a good.
Yeah, it's the good old days. Yep.
And so this way you had money to invest to.
So the gong show stuff was just for us to go have fun. But when we got the record deal, then that's when we started making, a little bit money so we can travel and do shows,
Around the
in
country, around the country.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
around the USA. Yep, yep.
okay. And did it work fine for you guys?
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was fun. We opened up for different acts. We did Kenny from, is his name Kenny? I can't remember his name. The lead singer from Intro. He
Oh,
sang,
can you Jill Love Green?
yeah, yeah. So he sang on one of our songs.
Yeah,
We have a
of
song. We
course.
have a song that I'll Be Sure wrote. What else? Tony Galvin. You probably heard of Tony Galvin. He
Yeah,
did
yeah,
some
yeah.
stuff he did a lot of stuff in the early 90s for a lot of rappers, but he did stuff. We knew him before he got
He was a
famous. So
producer, right? A
he
producer.
was our producer who did
Okay, okay, okay,
most of our
okay.
music along with Jeffrey Crothers.
Hmm.
Yep.
So you told me that guys you met at the house school, right?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
As school, high school, but through a show, right?
Yeah, we no, we met in high school. Well, they met in high school. Frankie and Steve met in high
Okay,
school,
they
and then
were
they met. They
yeah.
yeah, they were in high school in the 12th grade, and then they met me through a mutual friend of ours.
Okay,
A
okay,
friend of ours said, "Hey, you guys should meet each other. Let's go to a club," and then that's how we formed the group. Well, they had their group already. They wanted to change it, get somebody else. So
okay, okay. Okay.
yeah, exactly. Yep.
But how you guys came up with the group Living Proof? Is that because of the rap group called Group Home that had the
We were out.
song
We
back
were
then?
out. Yeah, yeah, we were out before them. We put our
Okay,
group
okay, okay.
name together before them, and then after we started getting with the label. Then we heard about them. We was like, oh man. So that was
What a
awesome. Oh
coincidence! Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
what a coincidence. Yeah, yep.
And what was that? Was a saying back in the 90s? Living Proof was a uh,
We were
uh,
looking. We were coming up with different names, and we liked this. We kind of wanted to prove to our friends that we can get a record deal because some of our friends didn't believe we would get a record deal. They didn't think it would go anywhere. So we got a record deal and we had some fun. Weekends. I gotta say we live pretty much a big life, a life. It was an experience for sure.
sorry, can you repeat because we got cut off? Alive
Okay,
Dead, Alive Dead.
we had a lot of life experience in those few years we were traveling around the United States, so it was fun.
So you guys got signed, okay? You got
Hmm.
a lot of to invest in your project.
Hmm.
So we can pay the producer, we can pay the writer, and go
Exactly.
on with that. Is that right?
Exactly.
So you
Exactly.
first record the first one, and
Hmm.
then you came up with the Proof is in the Pudding album,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
so let me ask you, who was behind the producing team? I know that there was DJ ADF. Is that right?
Eddie F. Yeah, he we recorded in the studio. What song? That was for the song that Kenny sang on.
Yeah. What you
What you
gonna
what you gonna
do with
do?
my love?
Yep, yep. There
Yeah,
you go. Hey, we should have brought you in the group.
yeah. I've got some skill myself, but yeah, man, I'm low key with that, man. so, DJ ADF, right?
Yep.
Tony Galvin, of course.
Tony Galvin. There was
Tony
another guy,
Dofat, Tony Do
To-
Tony Dofat.
Tony Dofat. He did it. He did actually. Did he do two songs or one song? Well, he did. We worked with him in the studio in Miami, and in New York as well. So yep, Tony Dofat, Tony Galvin. Out in California, we recorded some songs with Jeffrey.
Yeah, and you know what? I contacted him around the first time I had you through Facebook Messenger.
Mm-hmm. Uh
I
huh.
contacted him at the
Uh huh.
same time,
Uh
and
huh.
I think that he sent very kindly an unreleased song that wasn't on the retail unreleased album,
Uh
and the
huh.
song is called "Tell Me."
Okay. Oh, you got that from him. Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah, I don't know
Did
if
you
you
did you share
have
that
it.
with me? If I don't, if you didn't share it with me, share it with me when you can.
You don't have it?
I don't think I have. If I have it, it's in some hard drive somewhere, and it's hard to
Hold
find
on,
those
hold on,
hard
hold on.
drives.
Let me play it for you, man, right now.
I know the song. Yeah, I know the song. I just don't have a copy of it.
But it's for the the viewers, the
Yeah. Okay.
subscribers.
All right.
Let's give it a snippet.
Okay.
So you remember about the song, right?
Yep. Yep.
Can you hear it?
Uh, I can't hear it on my side. No.
No, you don't know. You can hear it.
No.
I've done a few tests. Hold on. Let me grow with the volume up. Uh, what about now?
No, I don't hear it.
Still no?
Nope.
And now? Oh, my bad. Forgot.
I think.
Forgot. Hold on. No,
Yeah.
I
I
forgot
think.
to in the program I
Uh
had
huh.
to activate
Route
something.
it. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah. Where's the right here? Hold on, but it's no business. Right? It's don't matter about it. We go
Hmm.
on with the interview.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. You remember you can add it in later. You can cut it and then add the song
yeah,
in.
definitely.
Okay.
I'll definitely do that. But you can
Yeah.
you can feel and tell that it's my first one here, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's fine. Nah, no worries. Yeah. We learn,
Okay.
live, learn, and move on. Yep.
So Jeffrey was there too. Or was the whole team, the producing team at around the same time? all together in the studio with you guys?
No, when, so you're saying when, repeat that again. You mean us group, the group in the
What
studio?
was the whole production team?
Mm-hmm.
DJDF, Tony Galvin,
Uh-huh.
Tony Dofat, Jeffrey
Mm-hmm.
Sanders. Were they all together in one place to record
No,
the song with you guys? No.
no,
Okay, okay,
we recorded in different studios. We
okay.
recorded in New York studios, Miami studios, and in California studios as well.
Okay, so it was different places and
Different places, yeah.
okay, different time. Okay, not
Mm-hmm.
when how many year how many days did it take to for you guys to record it and
Well,
finish
it takes, I
the
mean,
project?
the project took months. You know, it takes months and months to record an album. Then you're practicing the song, then you go get on the calendar to go to the studio, or we got to fly. Because remember, we were in Miami, so we would have to fly to New York if we're going to go in the studio in New York. Actually, we recorded in Chicago as well. Um, we actually did a show. We opened up for Intro,
Okay,
Kenny's group.
okay.
We opened up for Intro in Chicago. That was actually the same year that Michael Jordan won his third ring in Chicago. Man, that town was on fire that night. Let me tell you. We
It
had a
was
lot of fun.
exceptional, exceptional.
It was exceptional. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So, it took a few months to record the whole album. We will be in the studio sometimes, and just right when in the studio, hey, we decide to go a whole different path. We'll say, hey, you know what, this track sounds better. Let's change up these lyrics. Oh, Frankie, sing it this way, and that's how it was. So we be in the studio, we're shooting pool, we're waiting for our turn to go in the booth.
Yeah,
We shoot
yeah.
pool,
I
or
wanted to ask you before the
yeah,
videos,
uh
who write the lyrics of the songs? You
huh.
guys or somebody else, a ghostwriter? Some don't know how to work.
It's all over the place. We have writers, or
Okay,
we'll
okay.
write a song, or we may write piece of a, or they give us a song, we write the hook. So that's how we did it.
So you guys had a few featuring on the Unreleased album. We have Kenny G Love Green, of course, from Intro. We have
Mm-hmm.
a rapper on Got It Like That
Mm-hmm.
track. I
Mm-hmm.
think there was a female singer on the Tell Me, the track that didn't make the cut for the War
Okay.
Retake album. You guys had a few features on that,
Yeah,
right?
we had a few features. We had on Ooh La La, I rapped on. I rapped on two of the songs, and there was a
So
remix. Yeah, there
you
was
were
me
rapping
rapping.
on the song?
Yeah, yeah. So on the remix, we had one guy do a rap because I was in New York at the time, and Frankie was in California. Actually, Frankie was going out to audition for a movie. You ever heard of Jersey Drive? He was actually going to be one of the actors in there, but he couldn't do it because we had commitments to go travel. So I was in New York. Frankie was in California, and they ran into that rapper. Hey, let's do the remix, and then that rapper rapped on the remix from one of our songs.
So you're telling me, I didn't know that Who Ah had a remix?
Uh huh.
Okay,
No, not
never
ooh.
heard.
It was Do It to the Music as a remix.
Okay, do it to the music. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
one
that
of them
one.
because there were a few remixes. There
Yeah,
was, I
yeah.
think there is a dance O remix,
Dance hall. Yep.
a
Mm-hmm.
one by Tony Dofat,
Mm-hmm.
and another one I think it was Funk Vibe, Ghetto Street, a Funk Vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mean that Lord G was a friend of okay of yours?
Lord G was a friend of someone out, one of the friends out in California, and then Frankie was there, and they said, "Hey, let's do the remix."
Okay,
I
okay.
couldn't be there, but that was fine, so they went and did it. That was okay. It came out pretty good, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, very good track. I'm
Yep.
feeling that as the rest of the album as you my guest. But okay, the track are record.
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right. Now
Uh-huh.
we shooting the video, right?
Wait, before we get to the video, let me tell you a funny story real quick. Do you know the group called The Far Side?
Yo, of course, man. They're classic.
Okay, all right.
Passing
So
me by,
yeah,
she keep
exactly.
pumping.
Uh-huh. So
Okay, okay.
in the beginning of Ooh La La, I go, not the far side, so a girl would never pass me, right? That's the beginning of the rhyme. So not the far
Yeah.
side, so a girl never
Okay,
pass. So
okay.
this is a funny story. There's a club in Jamaica House where all the dancers go, right? All the top-notch dancers. So, we can dance too. We were one of those kind of dancers. We in the cypher battling. So one of the guys from Far Side was there that night, right? He was in the
Oh,
cypher. I was in the cypher. We all whatever kind of battling, whatever. Okay, we didn't think of it. We had a show the following week. Livin Proof had a show in California the following week.
mhm.
Guess who's in the front? He's in the front in the audience, right? He's in the front of the audience, and
Okay.
I walk on stage, and I go, "Not the Far Side, so a girl would never pass me," and he's right there.
Oh, the crowd went well, man. That was wow.
I
That
mean,
was a punchline,
I
man.
wish we had stuff to record back then, because and right before the '94, before the internet came along, we didn't have
Yeah, no
phones that record.
smartphone, no
Yeah, so
smartphone,
if
no
we had that,
nothing.
man, that would have been funny to have on film. So yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
and put
funny.
it on the network on
Yeah,
YouTube and
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
but that's a dope one, man. That's a
yeah, yep. So that
not a
was
false
fun.
start,
So
but I never thought about that line, but yeah, now you're saying that's it. It's clear.
Mhm. And
It's clear. It's
he
clear.
might think, oh my God, this guy, we were, in the cipher. He's probably thinking, I just made that the next for that song for that week, not knowing that it was recorded before. So the Far Side, that wasn't me trying to diss you. That was just a song we recorded way before we met you in the club.
And did he heard eventually the recording of the hoo ha?
I said I lost
Did,
you there for.
did the Far Side member heard the original hoo ha song with the
I don't know.
lyrics?
I don't never know
No,
if he
no.
heard the song, but he was in the
Uh,
club when we
okay,
performed the
okay,
song. Yeah,
okay, okay,
exactly.
okay, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Uh, let's go to the with the video, the shooting, man. How
Hmm.
it went? So you got found
So
to.
yeah, we got signed after we recorded the album and they picked the first single. Then they said, okay, let's go to New York and
Hold on, hold
record.
on. So sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. What Do It to the Music was chosen for
Chosen.
the hit video?
Um Actually do it to the music be chosen. It was Come Back to Me. That's the one we shot the video for. That was the one. And then after we shot it, the label said, you know what, let's put out Do It to the Music. So they wanted to do It to the Music. So let me rewind here. Part of the reason why we never blew up or never really got out there is because the label didn't know what they were doing, right?
Okay.
And some people may say, well, they know what they're doing because they put out Shy. No, they didn't
That,
put out Shy. Shy
that
put
was
themselves out. Shy was already big.
okay. Okay,
Shai
okay.
was already big before the label even did anything with him because they had that song on the college radio stations. And then the label heard of them. As a matter of fact, we were signed before Shy. We were signed like a year and a half before Shy. And then the
Nobody
label
knew
heard,
that.
yeah, the label heard Shy and they brought Shy into the studio to do their songs again. But they already blew up with that one single that they had on the college radio station. None of their other songs did as well as that one song. So yeah, they were really cool. We hung out with them a few times.
So you
Real
knew
nice.
they were Shy to the
Hmm.
extreme,
To the extreme. Yeah, we met to the extreme. Hmm.
Brotherhood Creed as well.
I never met Brotherhood Creed, but we met EYC. That was a group that they were actually doing a lot of shows in Europe and stuff.
Okay,
So
okay.
we actually wrote a song for them.
So you guys used to hang out together, and
When we in the studio, we hang out, or we went to Shy's place a few times. We hung out and did a little bit of freestyle battling, having fun. So they were cool guys, man, real down to earth.
to this day, do you still have a link with them?
No, I don't.
No?
That whole. To be honest, the only person I know in the industry right now is Max Goose.
You still have
And
contact with him? Okay.
every once in a while we talk. He was supposed to come to Atlanta. We talk online, and who else I talk to is Ray. Ray's the engineer.
Wait, you
Uh,
told me a few times
yeah, yeah, yeah.
before.
So we met with Ray 2 years ago when Frankie came over to Atlanta.
Yeah,
So
you
we
told
all
me
went.
about that. You told me
Yeah.
about that. But let's go back, if you allow me to
Uh-huh.
the music video. So you shoot everything.
Mm-hmm.
So first, Comeback was chosen, but then they go back with the Do It to the Music. It's
Mm-hmm.
single. You
Mm-hmm.
shoot the video. You
Mm-hmm.
promote the CD single, and
Mm-hmm.
then what happened?
The label filed bankruptcy.
Okay, that's how it is.
Bankruptcy. Yep. So our choice was we were back in Miami at the time. So when our manager called us, Max Goose, he said, "Look, guys, they're gonna file bankruptcy. So you got one more check coming. I can get you guys another record deal. You guys gotta come back to California." And at that time, I was I don't know if I want to go back through that right now, because I had other stuff going on, and I decided it's not for me, that route that I'm going to take to go back over there right now. And then my manager said, "Well, Rogan, why don't you come out here and be my A&R?" And
Yeah.
I said, I don't know, because actually I told him about Biggie Smalls before Biggie Smalls blew up. I told him about Biggie. Biggie, next thing you know, Biggie Smalls blow up. I told him about Wu-Tang before Wu-Tang blew up. So he wanted me to go be an A&R. And I
Because
was like,
you had
because I
this
had the ear,
talent
my ear,
to, yeah.
yeah, my ear was to the street. He know my ear was to the street, and okay, let me go
You
ahead
could
and bring you on as an A&R guy. I
you
said,
could
no,
find talent
yeah,
from the streets. Yeah, okay, okay, I
exactly.
got it.
So I didn't I decided to take another route, and it actually, to be honest with you, it worked out for me because let me just give you an explanation. When you're surrounded by certain groups, you may act a certain way, or you may be influenced when you hang around them a certain
Of course.
amount of time. And if you hang around this other group, you get influenced. I was young, I was in my early 20s, so I was heavily influenced. So it was better for me not to go in that route because I don't think I would be the nice person I am right now had I stayed in the music industry, to be honest with you. So it worked out. It worked out fine for me. I had fun in it. It's a great experience. I had a great time. And, you know, God saved me a little bit because guess who was one of the guys who wanted to sign us back then? Puffy.
I was about to tell Puff that okay,
Exactly. And
okay,
look
so I
what's
make
going
the
on.
link. Okay, what's going
You
on
look
right
what's
now with him?
look what's going
Okay,
on right now with him.
yeah,
So
it's a dark
um
story, right? So
exactly. So
yeah.
that's a sad story right there. And we, thank God we didn't take that route to go sign with him. Who knows?
what were the feeling about the other member about the bankruptcy
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the
We Steve felt the same way. He was like, he didn't want to do it anymore. Because it was fun, but it was a lot of work too. And we just wanted to get consistent money. We just wanted to have regular money, coming in at this point. So Steve, he went into IT. I didn't know he went into IT. 2 years later, after he's in IT, then he tells me in IT, and I said, oh, wow, I tried it out, and I'm doing it now, and I've been doing it for ever since, and I love it. So it's enjoyable.
so you
Uh,
guys agree on the fact that you're not moving forward
Forward.
as a R&B boys band group.
As a
And
Yeah, we're okay. But Frankie wanted to stick with it. So Frankie went out to Europe. He went to Germany. He met up with two guys, and that group did okay. They were doing a lot of shows out in Europe. I thought he was going to blow up. He was doing nice shows, really good shows.
hold on. Is
Yeah.
that the group you told me about?
Uh
Black
huh.
Tickets?
No, no, no. I was in Black Cactus. Frankie went to a singing group. I forgot the name of the group. I don't remember the name.
Yeah, I
Uh,
need the name, man. I need that
uh
name, man.
okay.
Do
I'll
some
get you the
effort.
name. I'll
Try,
get you.
try. Give it a try.
Man, I can't. You know what? If I can't remember it while we're in the show before edit it and whatever, I'll
Yeah,
give it
you
to you.
text
But
me.
yeah,
You let me
yeah,
know.
I'll let you know. Yeah, but yeah,
Thanks
that
a
group,
lot.
that group was pretty dynamic. They were into electronic funk basically, and it was pop electronic funk. It was good sounding stuff.
Back around 94, 95.
No, that probably was 96 to 98,
Okay.
99.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. Very, very
Yep.
interesting. I think
Yep.
a lot of people, subscriber, will dig on that. I'm sure about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no,
I'll,
sorry, can you repeat? We will.
I'll get the group name for you.
Thanks a lot. But can you
Yeah.
tell me about but let me put it this way. Let me give a snippet right now because most of the guys never heard about that
Hmm.
marvelous track, and I'll head over you and ask you a couple questions about it
Okay.
after the listening. Hold on, where it is? Okay, can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it. So
Okay,
that song has Frankie on it, but that
can you tell
song,
us a little bit about what it really is?
okay. So
Uh,
this song was for Black Cactus.
hold on. Can we hear a little bit just the
Yeah.
chorus? Okay, okay. Can you tell us about that?
So that's a Black Cactus song. That's a rap group that I joined when I left when I left Living Proof five, and I had the itch to get back on stage. I wanted to get back on stage again, and I said, you know what? Let me try it out with these rap guys. So we started working on the album, and then I told Frankie, hey, you need to come over and sing on the hook. So he sang the hook for that song.
But was it an official group built with
Black
Frankie,
Cactus.
you, and the
No, no, no,
rapper?
no.
Okay,
It was me and two other guys. It
okay,
was
okay.
three guys. Um, and Frankie was just featured on that song,
But just for that song only.
just for that song only. Yes.
Okay. But
Yeah.
initially, he wasn't supposed to be on that group.
Um, this is told like this is live. This is Living Proof is no more.
Okay, okay.
I
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
and
this
then
point,
yeah, this
okay.
there's no more Living Proof. I'm with this group called Black Cactus, and we were just trying to get a record deal. Actually, we did get a record deal, but we didn't. It was a horrible record deal, so we didn't go through doing much. But we performed in South Beach, and we had fun, and then we recorded some songs. So I just got my itch out to go do some rapping for a little while.
Yeah, for those who don't know, you're rapping on that song, or
Yeah, yeah. So that guy you just heard is somebody else. I'm the second guy on that track. Yep.
and the track is fire, man.
Yeah, I like
I
that
think
track a lot too.
the title is very very interesting. Are you listen? Was sorry, what cut off? Can you? I can't hear you. Can't hear you anymore. So
Okay.
most of the people don't know, but after the Living Proof project ended up, you guys kind of broke together. Uh,
Hmm.
you've built another group, right? It was called Black Cactus,
Yeah, Black
Black
Cactus. Yep.
Cactus. And most of
Yep.
the people don't know, but you were a rapper on that, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was a rapper in Living Proof as well. I never came in that group because I was a singer. They brought me in because I could dance and I could rap, and that's the real premise of Living Proof was being great dancers. You ever heard of the group B2K?
Of course, man.
Okay, so Max Goose signed B2K. And when he signed them, he called and said, "Man, I signed a group just like you guys, crazy dancers on the stage." So that was one of the things that helped us get our record deal because we can perform. We know how to put performances together.
Did
You
you
know,
do you think that Goose, in a certain way, kind of trying to reproduce the Living Proof project in B2K by signing them with the
I
dancing
don't,
stuff,
I don't know if he was
replicate them?
trying to. I don't know if he was trying to uh, replicate it because their sound was very different. But
Yeah,
he knows the kids want to see a great performance on stage, right? So they can perform. So he signed them, and that was, they did pretty well as a group,
yeah, they blow up
So
even here in
yeah,
Europe, so we heard
yeah, they
about
blew.
them.
Hmm.
Uh, so let's go back a little bit if you don't mind. Black Cactus, can you tell
Hmm.
us what happened with this group, rapping group, singing group, both
Yeah, it was all rap group.
or rap? Okay, okay.
We just had Frankie singing on that one song, Lisa. I did that for about 2 or 3 years. Ended up doing some songs with some other local rappers and just had some fun. But we all did different things. As a matter of fact, one of the guys we did the we did some features with, and he actually produced some of our songs. He's actually one of the guys that helped put together Drink Champs. You ever heard of Drinking Champs?
Of course, man, with
Yeah,
Noriega and
yeah,
the other
yeah.
guys. Yeah, yeah.
So Big Drain, he's one of the guys that helped produce that song with him, and he produced one of our songs in Black Cactus. Uh, the guy you see in there with the beard, I don't remember his name.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
we all we all used to hang out. Everybody knew everybody. You know what I mean? In mind, we was all in the same circle. If I didn't know somebody directly, the guys in my group knew them directly. So we knew a lot of people,
I
and
I think
that's how
I, I think this guy is a DJ, right? He's a DJ with the
big
big
joint.
bear.
Yeah, big. He got a beard. Yeah. Oh no, you talking about DJ Khaled, or you talking
No,
about the
no,
guy
no,
with the
the
white
one with
beard?
the Drink Champ with Noriega, always hosting the
Noriega, yeah,
show.
yeah, Noriega, yeah, Noriega did a few songs with the same guy that produced one of the songs on Black Cactus, and that's how they
Okay,
became friends. And then they started Drink Champs. So yeah, so
okay.
yes,
What can you tell us about that project,
uh,
man?
it was
Few
I
details.
mean, I had the itch. I gave up Living Proof. I went into the regular corporate world for a little while. And then these two guys that I know say, "Hey man, we just started a rap group." I said, "Okay, let's try it out." And we did that for a few years. I had some fun, and I got the itch to perform out of my system. You know,
So so
and yeah,
so
and I
so
yeah.
you went from a singer to a
Uh-huh.
rapper.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't think I was ever really a singer. I was more like a dancer and a rapper, but I can sing some backup vocals. If I hear it enough, I can sing it. You know what I mean?
Okay,
So
okay,
that's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
kind of that's kind of that's kind of the deal right there, you know? So, yep.
To this day, do you still rap or sing?
Nah. If I get the itch, it's gonna mess with me too much. So I just leave it alone.
Okay.
It's like if you do coke or you do drugs, you
Yo,
don't do it and you don't even get near it because you're gonna want to do it to get into a full steam. And like I said, I left the music business alone.
yeah. So now it's behind you, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
behind me. Yeah, yep.
okay. I hear you. I hear you. If you have, could you have? I don't know the
If you
possibility to
had
go
you
back
you
in
broke
time.
you Okay, if I had a possibility to go back in time, go ahead. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. Yep.
What would you have done
I've done different.
differently,
Uh-huh.
better? Do
Uh-huh.
you have any regrets toward
Uh
this
no regrets, no
experience?
regrets.
No regrets.
If I had the mind that I have right now, let's put it this way. If I had the mind that I have right now and I was in that same opportunity, I would have definitely known not to sign with Gasoline Alley. I would have went with a label that was more established, maybe
East West. East West.
East West or
Okay.
Giant Records. Go that route, but I would need to have the mind I have right now to steer me away from all the nonsense that was going on in the industry. Keep in mind, we were only in it for a few years and we didn't even blow up, and we getting in situations where, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, the industry is crazy. Let me tell
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah. You
it,
met a
it's
lot
it's
of people. It's
mm,
all about a lot of money, doing a
uh,
good thing, but also bad thing, doing
bad
drugs,
things.
like you said, stuff like
Hmm.
that. So
Exactly,
the
exactly.
vice is always present.
Hmm.
It's always there, man. So
Yeah,
you gotta watch out.
you temptation for so long, and then then you get caught and then you keep doing. So it was a good thing for me. But if I had the mind I have right now, yeah, I could deal with it because I would know how to steer away from it, and I would know not to go with Gasoline Alley because they weren't ready. They were too wishy-washy.
I think you guys might have blown up if you guys were get to sign
I,
got to
I
sign
think
to them.
so. I don't want to brag or anything like that, but I think so because the few people, some of the other groups we met in the industry, they loved our music. Like when we first met Shai, I'm at a restaurant called Roscoe's, where all the singers and rappers go to in California to go eat whatever. We met him there, and then when we met him, he brought us to Garfield, introduced us to Portrait. Portrait, right?
Yeah,
You
of
ever
course.
Portrait? Yeah.
Male
And he
singers.
and he told him, hey, that's the guys I was telling you about. These guys, they dance, these crazy dancers, and they got
They're
some good
good. They're pretty
vocals.
good. They're
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
good.
yeah, exactly. So when you hear that from your fellow artists, I'm thinking I think we would have did well. I think
Yeah,
we
you
would have did
can link
well.
up with a
Hmm.
famous artist. You know,
Hmm. Hmm.
I recall that. I think it was from one intro members, Jeffrey, and he was telling to an interview how they got a record deal, and
Hmm.
I think it was in a New York club, perhaps back in the
Hmm.
90s, and
Uh-huh.
he ran to AVD in a
Hmm.
club, and
Hmm.
AVD was like, "Okay, y'all can sing it now."
Yeah.
In the
Hmm.
club, So they start to sing. A couple days, the rest is history. So they got a
Hmm.
phone call. They
Hmm.
recalled the first track. There was Love Tang, I think,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it was as white label through the
Hmm.
radio station, and it's
Hmm.
on. It
And
went
blow up.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they blew
We
up, man.
we yeah, we had a we ran into a studio. We went into a still supposed to rap on one of our
Sorry, can you
tracks.
can you rewind? You
Okay,
you ran?
we were in New York
Okay,
and we
okay.
were going. It was really really cold. It was really really cold. We had some mask on our face and we were going to a studio. The studio had 2 floors, so we went inside the first studio. It was the wrong one, and we were looking for, I forgot his name. It was a rapper, and then guess who's in there? Jam Master Jay.
Whoa,
Yeah, Jam
the
Master Jay.
legend, man.
Yeah, yeah. And he looks
Yeah.
at us and he goes, what you looking for him for? I said, he's supposed to rap on one of our tracks. And he goes, well, you guys rappers? You guys not rapping on your own tracks? And now we singers. He goes, y'all singers? Y'all not singers. He didn't believe us. Y'all look like gangsters. Y'all look like you're about to rob us or something like that. I almost had to pull out something, you know what I'm saying? Because we had masks on. We looked like
Okay,
we was gonna
okay.
rob,
Yeah, yeah,
some
yeah.
people. And they said, no, no. And he said, y'all not singers. And I said, Frankie, hit him with something. And Frankie said, listen, oh, y'all got a deal? Frankie Jam Master Jay wanted to mess with us. Said,
Whoa,
no, man, we
that's
got a
crazy,
record deal
man.
already. We got a record deal already. Said, who y'all signed with? He didn't believe us. Who y'all signed with? And we told him, Gasoline That's I never heard of them. I said, Rod Stewart / MCA. And he goes, oh, okay, okay. So then we went upstairs to go record with the guy. And as a matter of fact, in that same studio, that's when I met Biggie Smalls, and he was recording
Yeah,
one
I
of
was
his
about to
songs.
tell you that because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember one time through Facebook, you told me that you met him, hang
yeah.
around with him. Can you tell us
Uh-huh.
a little bit more about
Yeah,
that?
well,
You met the
we
legend.
hung out with him in the studio, nowhere else. I ran into him at Roscoe's out in California, but we met him through a friend of ours that was signed by Max Goose on Giant Records. His name
Okay.
is Pudgy the Fat Bastard, and
Where we
Pudgy,
own, we
yeah,
know them.
yeah. So Pudgy knows Biggie, and that's how we got inside to go in the studio session when Biggie was recording. But keep in mind, we're artists. We're not sweating anybody else. You know what I'm saying? We're not going in there to be like, oh, Biggie Smalls. No, we in there, we lamping, we lounging. We think we
Humble,
all that.
humble.
Yeah, no, we're humble, but we're confident with it. We got our stuff about to come out too. Biggie Smalls, he's just recording right now. You know what I'm saying? He's not big yet. I knew he was going to be big because I knew he could rap, but it's how do
He
I
was
say
not
this?
that fat, that famous as we know him today.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But I knew he was gonna blow up though. And I was telling my manager, I said, man, Biggie going. He said, you think? I said, I know. And look what happened. So yeah,
Yeah,
man, we had
he's
some
a
good time.
legend, man.
Yep,
Known
we met.
all over the world, all over
Hmm.
across the countries.
Yep,
It's
yep.
amazing. So
Hmm.
you hang out with him?
Hmm. Like I said, in the studio, we met him, and then that was in New York, and then out in California at Roscoe's, I ran into him, and I also saw him at what club? It was at a I forgot the name of the club. So, I ran into him a few times, but I'm not chasing anybody because Biggie Smalls not big at the time. You know what I'm saying? We met,
Mhm.
we met a lot. We met TLC. No, no, not TLC. We met Jermaine Dupri. We met, um,
Oh, big
we
names.
met, yeah, we met a lot of people in the industry. But keep in mind, we're about to come out. In our minds, we're thinking, hey, we're the next big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We
yeah,
met
yeah.
Jodeci, met Boys and Men. We're not chasing them like let me not say chasing, but we were appreciative of them. We like what they did, but keep in mind we were thinking we're going to be just like them. So we're in our 20s. These guys are Frankie and Steve are 19 and 20. I'm 21. We have big heads. We have big egos back then.
Yeah,
You
with
know,
the
so
money, with the
that's that.
females, you know
Uh
how it is, man. With the girls, with the
yeah.
fame, fortune and
Yep.
fame. That's
Hmm.
how it is, man. But
Yep.
never met Tupac.
Yep.
Sorry, it kind of.
I ran into Tupac a few times.
Ah, so you ran to Tupac.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
didn't run. You didn't run to the, but you ran to Tupac.
So yeah, yeah, who else? I'll be sure. I'll be sure, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll be
of course,
sure.
man, of course.
Heavy D, LL Cool J. I mean, everybody, a lot of
Teddy
people, because
Riley, Teddy Riley, right?
Teddy Riley. Yep, yep. So yeah,
Okay.
a lot of whoever was hot at that time, most likely we ran into them because we had to go where they were at. We had to do shows where they were at. We had
You
to
have to touch the
network.
spot,
Hmm.
the clubs.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
our road manager. Oh my God, he's so cocky. We ran into New Edition at a party,
Oh,
right? And you know what he says to them? He said, "These guys gonna take you out." He's telling Michael Bivins that. We're standing and looking like this. Oh my God, are you crazy? Why are you telling Michael Bivins that? Because in
you're
our
crazy,
minds,
right?
New Edition's up here.
Yeah.
Even though we had our ego would show up when we were around Boys and Men, Shy or those
Jodeci,
guys,
perhaps. Yeah.
Jodeci, but not New Edition.
No, they
New
were
Edition's up
above. They were
here.
above. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Those are the
We
kings. You know what I'm
higher.
saying?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at bro like, bro, can you relax, man? You're gonna get us in trouble.
Chill out. Chill the fuck
Yeah,
out, man.
relax. But Rose crazy like that.
It was kind of shown off to brag.
Say that again. Okay, there we
Yeah.
go. Say it again. Here we go.
It
I
was
can hear you
kind of
now.
shown off to brag
Hmm. Hmm.
about you guys and being
Yeah.
confident that yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But
it's
he
a way
knew
to.
everybody too. Bro, his name is Roger Romain. He know everybody. Anybody in the industry, he knows them. He did
Okay.
something with. He knows them. So yeah, he's cocky like that.
It was large. It was large,
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Yep.
Okay. Can we speak a little bit, if you don't mind, about the career that the lead singer Frankie Godson had
Yeah.
in a pop group? I think it was in UK, right? Can you put us a little bit like that, a
Yeah,
few
yeah.
details?
He went to after he lived in Proof, he knew he was gonna go overseas. He went overseas because he's an army brat. His father was in the army, so he lived
Oh,
in Germany the
I didn't
first few
know.
years. Yeah, he was. He lived in Germany when he was a kid, so he's used to traveling. So he went back over there. He's still over there. He's still in on that side of the world. Oh, he's in South Korea now, but he won't come back to the U.S. He loves it over there. So yeah, he went in that group, and I just can't remember the name of the group right now.
It
What is
was
it?
in three letter, no? Something like that. Whether the U, I can't recall. I can't
Mm,
recall well, but
I can't remember. I'll send it to you, man. I'll
well,
get you that information.
it don't matter. But I wanted to show people something.
Hmm.
If you don't mind, if I hold on, hold on.
Yeah,
Give
no
me a few,
problem.
give me a few seconds. Okay, I have the picture. Can I launch the picture, please? Uh, yeah. Can you see the Can you see the screen right now?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep, that's Frankie right there.
So most of people don't know, but you guys met together, right? With Ray, who is the
Uh-huh.
sound engineer from Livin
Yep.
Proof.
Uh-huh.
We got Frankie Godson, the original
Hmm.
lead singers.
Yep.
You, who was the fourth?
This guy over here was a friend. As a matter of fact, he's the one that actually had Frankie meet Max Goose because he was in the singing group as well. So he can sing. He actually used to sound like Ralph Tresvant. Um,
Oh,
and the lead singer in this group, oh my God, the lead singer in his group can really blow, but I don't think he liked the fame. He gave it up. He didn't want to when that deal was coming to them, he didn't want to take it. We didn't know.
it was back in the 90s.
Say that again.
It was back in the 90s. The
Back in the
group he
90s,
had.
yeah. Yep,
What,
yep.
what was the name of the group?
Um, I gotta ask them, but they only had demos. They
No,
never put. Yeah, I'll find out for you. But
no,
yeah,
no,
it
no
was. They
problem
were
about
pretty.
that. So
Yeah.
can you tell us, give it a little perspective on what happened about their reunion? Because
We
you've
just.
seen him
Yeah,
back after so
yeah. I
many
haven't
years.
seen. You haven't seen Frankie.
Years.
Actually, I haven't seen Frankie or Ray in a long time. That was the first time actually all three of the guys. I haven't seen them in a long time, and we were going over stories, and Ray reminded us of a story when we were in New Jersey to go record how some undercover cops thought we were dealing drugs. I was like, what? Oh my God, I don't remember that story. He said, you guys don't remember that story? We were in New Jersey. You don't remember they called us in the hotel and they said, you guys were up there, and then they hung up the phone. It was like, what? And then we were leaving to go to the studio. Then we got surrounded by cops. You don't remember that? I said, oh, I don't remember
No.
that. I said, yeah, man. Oh my God. And Frankie was like, man, I guess we got in more trouble than we thought, back in those days. We don't remember that. But yeah, yeah.
But it was an interesting reunion. Who put
Mhm.
that together?
I knew Frankie was coming from South Korea to come visit his daughter in Atlanta. And I just said, hey man, let's hook up. And they said, yeah, for sure. So then I told Ray, hours south from me. So yeah, we hooked up and it was a good meeting. We just talked about the good old days and
Reminiscing
how
about the 90s. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, we did some reminiscing and we realized we did some growing up too from those days, because Frankie, he's married now to a Korean lady and he has a 7-year-old son. Yeah,
Oh,
he's loving
that's
life.
nice.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yep. Yep.
I hope you will say hello from a fan and send
Mm-hmm.
him some love and
Mm-hmm.
all the appreciation that
Yeah, I'll let him know.
us
I'll let him know. Yep, for
in
sure.
Europe we can have for the work he did, that you guys did for Living Proof.
Yeah. So
Amazing
so
work.
I'm I'm
It
I'm
was
really
amazing.
not curious. I'm shocked on how much Europe is into uh urban music in general because I was in Paris not too long ago in London, and every shop I went into, they were playing like old school R&B. I'm like, wow, they
Yeah,
really
yeah,
like it out
man.
here.
I,
You
I
guys play
think
it more than we play it over here. I can't go into any establishment. Well, maybe one or two, but over there, mostly every establishment, as far as restaurants or a little cafe, they're playing old school R&B. I'm
yeah,
like, wow.
it's like in France, it was let's say the main territory when
Mm-hmm,
they used to import uh, music from the USA.
mm-hmm,
Even in my country, I mean my
mm-hmm,
native country, which is
mm-hmm,
Belgium,
mm-hmm,
they weren't that big. They weren't so on, on the 90s or back then. I mean, they
mm-hmm.
weren't
Okay.
very familiar with the R&B style,
Mm-hmm,
more with the we had a couple of music show as MTV, of course. Another one which was called MCM, was
Hmm.
from France, and
Hmm.
a lot of clip was were blowing up back then.
Okay.
We had, of course, hip hop doing big with
Hmm.
Notorious B.I.G., Tupac blowing
Hmm.
up. We
Hmm.
had here in Europe R. Kelly blowing up,
Hmm.
SWV, TLC, of course, stuff like
Hmm.
that. But yeah,
Hmm.
definitely on Friends, you have this knowledge of R&B back then.
Hmm.
In the music store, where you had vinyl records, CDs, of
Hmm.
course, cassette
Hmm.
tape, and I think that somehow through the years, we kind of, we say en français, on dit cristalliser. That's the
Crystallize.
crystallize. Yes,
Uh-huh.
precisely. We kind of
Hmm.
crystallize.
Je parle plus peu français.
C'est
Ah,
vrai?
that's all I got. That's all I got for you.
You're doing good, man. You're doing good, man. I'll give you a few lessons if you stay online. Yeah, it's my mother tongue, so
Okay.
I'm very comfortable with it. But yeah, it's kind of they crystallize this type, kind of
Hmm.
gender of music, and
Hmm.
yeah, we stick with it, man.
Stick with it. Yeah.
Is it because let's say the truth, man? It's
Hmm. Hmm.
because we are white people,
Hmm.
blah blah blah. It's
Yeah.
because we felt that vibe. It's because we are growing up as adult fellas.
Hmm.
It's because we crystallized that. Let's put it this way: 90s were a very special era. In
Hmm.
any genre of music, you can take
Hmm.
rock, pop
Hmm.
rock, you can take electro, you can take
Hmm.
trance, any kind of music, even Celine Dion in
Hmm.
Titanic song
Yeah.
blew
Uh-huh.
it up. So
Yeah.
it was an interesting convergence as era where all
Uh-huh.
the styles were in rivalry, but let's say a productive rivalry.
Okay.
I put it this way, and
Hmm.
yeah, we love the music, man.
Hmm.
We are we addict to it, man.
I
And
see that. I noticed.
I can tell you something from my perspective. It's been like 18 years. I'm doing this almost 20 years, and
Hmm.
I can tell you something, man. I dig so deep that you can't even imagine. It's like just
Hmm.
with you. I've reached out to you years ago. I've
Hmm.
dig hard, like trying to find oil
Hmm.
or gold. And I
Yeah.
can tell you something that I'm sure of. I can imagine the 90s. There is the emerge part of the iceberg, but you
Hmm.
have the emerge
Is
part of the
yeah. Yeah.
iceberg.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. The
now
submerged part. Yep.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Thanks for having me having my back right here. But now I can consider the 90s R&B without the submerged part. The submerged part is all the people, the group, solo artist group that didn't come out, and they were doing good. Some of them. No, I can't hear you anymore. Oh là là, punaise. You can hear me? So, Rogan, did
Yes.
you know that? I don't know if you ever heard about it and if you were aware about that, but Livin Proof, Unreleased album, The Proofs in the Puddin,
Uh-huh.
is one of the most wanted research album in the old school 90s R&B community.
Wow.
Were you aware about that or not?
I was, to be honest, I wasn't aware that there was even a community looking for, unreleased artists or things of that nature. So, me meeting you and you letting me know, like, hey, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for this. I was a little bit shocked. And then a few other folks, like that one guy I told you about. Can you hear me? Because I heard a
Yeah,
few.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, another guy reached out to me, and the reason I kept in contact with you because you were nice. The other guy was a little bit forthcoming, rude,
Yeah, I
always
think it
putting
was.
out.
I think I know him. It was Amin, right? From
Yeah, I
Germany.
mean, yeah, yeah, yeah. And
I
I'm
know
like,
him.
man, why are you so
His name.
aggressive? I told him you never talk bad about him. Why is he talking bad about you? So anyway, I realized I realized there's a community out here, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
shocked. And then for you to tell me what you're telling me now, I'm like, wow, that's
Because we kind of, like I said previously, we kind of crystallized the
uh-huh.
90s.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, it's almost for me 20 years that I'm still digging,
Uh-huh.
buying cassette tape,
Mm-hmm.
vinyls, and we have to thank the eBay sellers, man. The eBay
Yeah.
sellers from USA are
Uh-huh.
digging for us, trying to
Uh-huh.
find, undercover stuff,
Uh-huh.
indie stuff,
Uh-huh.
demos, and they come up with that. Them on their side is to make money, of course, but on our
Mm-hmm.
side is to
Mm-hmm.
crystallize more and more the 90s era and come to
Mm-hmm. Okay.
R&B.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
I'm really, I'm flattered. I got to tell you, and I'll tell the other guys in the group. I said, man, I'm pretty flattered. I didn't think that's possible because we were out only for a few years and we didn't really make a mark. Artists out there that we know. I mean, we ran into a lot of them. There's so many artists that we met that we never saw them come out. Because the labels back in those days, they would get 10 acts and maybe release two or three of them. Their
oh,
whole motto
okay,
was
okay.
sign as much as you can. Let's throw up on the wall what sticks, and then what starts to make some noise. Those are the guys we were focused on. You know.
I think I've heard something like that, but it was an interview. I don't know. It's about I think it was about a rap group, and
Mm-hmm.
it was they put it that way. The record label had a broad, and they stuck a few names on that
Mm-hmm.
about the name groups,
Mm-hmm.
about the acting, what they want to gonna do, the
Mm-hmm.
title of the album, stuff like that, and
Mm-hmm.
they had IDs, and when you go with that, and they were coming up with this ID.
Mm-hmm.
Let's choose this one. Let's choose this one. Let's go
Mm-hmm.
that path, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, perhaps the record label were doing that very often. It was
Yeah, yeah, they did that. Yeah, they'll
the
get them
blueprint,
in.
the blueprint of bringing more and more artists.
Yep, that's the way they did it back in those days. But
But
nowadays, yeah,
yeah,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, no, no,
But
my bad.
nowadays, it's very different. The label won't even look at you unless you have a big following. You have to do all your own work initially, kind of like what Shai did, actually. Do your own work, blow your own self up, and then the record labels will come to you. And at that point, to be honest with you, you don't need to go to them. You could do it. You can make more money without going to the label, you know?
What you think? What you thought about the nowadays music industry? Because like we already know, in the 90s it was way different. In the
Mm-hmm.
90s you had to go in the booth in the basement, record
Mm-hmm.
on a
Mm-hmm.
demo cassette tape,
Mm-hmm.
run to any famous person in the music industry, give
Mm-hmm.
you your demo,
Mm-hmm.
maybe having possibility to sign a record deal. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
what can you tell? What do you think about the music industry nowadays? Like you say, self promotion and all that.
Yeah, it's all self-promotion. Like Steve, his son, doesn't have a record deal, but he's pretty big. I can't remember his name now. He does rap,
Oh,
and he's being flown all over the place to go do shows, and he doesn't have a record deal. It's all
that's
about you doing your own thing, have your own following, build your Instagram or your whatever social media platform you on, build that up, and next thing you know, promoters want you to come out to their club because it's going to bring audiences. At that point, if you want to sign with a label or not, he chose not to sign, and there's a lot of guys doing that. But there's some people, they do that because now the money will make them more famous because the label can put money over
but
the place.
but do you think it's a good idea or not?
Uh-huh. I think I think
Good thing or not?
it's on. It depends, right? I don't like I don't like a lot of the music that comes out now because it doesn't sound original. Everyone's trying to copy what the other guy did. That's my problem with it. But that's what's getting them money. So they're out there after they doing it because of the money. But I think if the record labels didn't chase these kids like they're chasing them, maybe these kids will be a little bit more original in what they're doing. I
Okay,
mean,
okay.
we had Bobby Brown, right? Bobby Brown didn't sound like Jodeci, right? You
That's
know,
right. That's
and
right.
Jodeci didn't sound like New Edition or sound like Boys and Men. Everybody had their
Oh,
own sound.
Silk, H Down
Still,
intro.
yeah, exactly. Everybody had their own sound. As soon as you
That's
hear,
right.
oh, that's Joe, Jodeci sound. Boys the Men sound. Nowadays, I can't tell who's who. To be honest with you.
And it's like Quincy Jones said, I quote, "We need to stop doing hooks. We need to stop doing music." That's what
Hmm.
he said in one interview.
Yeah. Hmm.
The words are I am meaningless.
Yeah.
It's not any more songs. It's hooks. It's not even enjoyable anymore.
It's a shock value. The especially when it comes to the rappers, they it's all about what's the not all of them. Let me not say all of them, but some of them. What's the worst thing I could say to make somebody be like, oh wow, look what he said. That's what it seems like nowadays, you know.
It's
So
shocking, man.
yeah, yeah.
It's becoming something special. So let's say
Hmm.
something special.
Yeah, yeah.
What you up to nowadays, Rogan? What are you doing for a living? If it's not too
What I'm
indiscreet to
doing,
ask.
I'm actually in information technology field. I am a database developer.
All right.
Yep, been doing that for 16 was doing network support, whatever stuff. I got into IT not too long after I left Black Cactus. And yeah, that's good for me. You know, I travel, have my fun, you know, got my daughter.
And you're
Uh,
trying to navigate, trying to do the product. You're traveling around the world,
yeah, yep,
around the
yep.
country.
Around, you know, yeah, just having fun. Go to Mexico, go to London, go to Paris. My wife and I, we were in Monaco last year. That was probably our
Whoa.
one of our most fun trips. Just the vibe out there, man. I wish I could live out there, but I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to do a lot more work in order to afford to live out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, yeah. So yeah, man, just living life, man.
That's great.
Go to
That's great,
church.
man.
I left church before I was at church before I got on this call with you. So yeah, life was good for me.
You say you left church?
Yeah, yeah. I was in church. I
Okay,
was in
okay.
church, and I came straight here to so we can get on this call here. So yeah,
Okay, okay.
and there was a time in my life you would have to force me to go to church. Now I like going to church. You know, I'm
Because you
older.
are an adult, so
I'm an
you,
adult. I
yeah,
recognize
right.
the message. You know, when you go to church, and I believe in the Lord. I
Mm.
believe He's looking at us, and if we want to know Him, let's go to somebody that can talk about Him. You know, if we trust the pastor, hey, let's go see what the message is. So yeah, I love it, man. My life is
That's
good.
the path, the good path we all
Hmm.
have to take. But
Yep.
thanks for this interview, man. Thanks for your time, for having you
Hmm.
on the Your 90s R&B broadcast. I'm very, very happy, honored, and glad to have you as the first uh, recording artist
Unsigned.
from the
Yeah.
90s. And
Yeah.
thanks for the interview, man.
All
For
right,
all
man.
my
Okay. Okay.
from my heart, man.
All right. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate.
Do you have anything you want to say to your fan base from the 90s?
I didn't know I really had a fan base to be honest until you told me. But yeah, Living Proof is doing good. All the guys in the group, they're living their lives. They're happy. Me personally, I would not trade my life right now for $1 billion. I'm happily
Oh,
married. My daughter's fine. I wouldn't change anything. I had to go through everything I wouldn't trade it for anything. So yeah, I'm living life, man. Frankie's
you
loving life, and Steve as well.
you are in good place, in good
Hmm.
spot right now,
Hmm.
more
Yep.
than you
Peace,
ever
peace.
been before.
Mm-hmm. Peace. When I was in the group, I had excitement, not
Yeah,
peace. I
yeah.
had excitement.
And you know how it is, man. When you're young, having
Yeah.
fun,
Yep.
drinking, having
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
blast.
Yeah,
But then,
I'm not gonna lie. I did like the center of attention when we were performing. We loved it. You know that group High Five.
of course, man. Of course,
Okay, all
classic,
right.
man.
So we opened up for High Five in
Oh,
Miami, right? We opened up for them. And I kid you not, guess who they wanted to come back on stage after High Five finished performing? They were calling Living Proof to come back on stage.
whoa.
Because we used to give good shows, man.
And
I'm not gonna lie.
they were major, they
Yeah,
were
they were
doing
big. Yeah, they
big,
were big.
man.
Yeah,
Whoa.
they were big. They were performing in the club. We opened up for them. They did their thing because we when we put a show on, man, we put a show.
They're doing
It was
this.
that was our
Wow.
thing. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. So
Doing it
yeah,
for
man.
real, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're
So
there, man.
yep, yep. So good times, good times. But I'm older now, and man, I love relaxing, doing my traveling, and yeah, man. Peace is
We are
important.
older
Yep,
now. We are older
yep.
now.
Exactly.
The excitement is kind of finished, but
Yeah.
we are
Mm-hmm.
we are into something else. Yeah,
Exactly.
more
Exactly. So
other aspiration. Let's say. Let's put it
exactly,
with.
exactly.
But
Yep.
thanks for having you on the show, man. Thanks for the interview. Thanks for staying with me, sticking with us, man.
Hmm.
Say hey hello to the fan base for me.
I will. I will.
Okay,
And yeah, I'm
to all of them,
all right.
to the member, to the
I
music
will. I'll
engineer.
tell them. I'll let them all know. Yep.
Thanks a lot. And it's time for you. You know what to do.
All right, man. Shout out to Don Juan, man, on this new radio station. I want you guys to tune into the next artist. It's going to be awesome.
It's called
I don't know the name actually. What is the
name
name?
of my channel is called Yo 90s R&B.
Oh, Yo 90s R&B. Okay, let's do this over. Okay. Hey, shout out to Yo 90s R&B, my man Don Juan. Good guy, good energy. Looking forward to the next interview. Good luck to
Thanks a
you,
lot,
man.
man. Thanks a lot,
All
man.
right. You're
It's an
welcome. You're
honor,
welcome.
pleasure, good sir, for you to be the first artist to be interviewed on that show or broadcast, man. Thanks a lot, man.
I appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing your next artist, man. Have a good one.
I hope you be super than us, man. We be sending you the link,
Uh-huh.
like, subscribe,
I
and be
will,
another viewer. Account
for
you
sure.
with the with the team, with
All
the
right.
fan base. All right, see you guys. Thanks for watching. You staying with us, hearing all the Livin Proof details, past story, behind the scenes story, never done before. Thanks a lot. See you next week.
All right,
Have
man.
fun. Stay well. Be well. All
All
right.
righty.
See you guys. See you guys.
See
Peace.
you.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.